I'm 78, and for most of my life, I spent my time and energy trying to be the perfect woman. I thought that being perfect meant making everyone around me happy, always looking polished, and never letting anyone see my vulnerabilities or struggles. I believed that perfection was the key to being loved, respected, and accepted. And for years, I played the part, pushing myself to meet an ideal that I never truly defined for myself, but that I assumed was the only way to fit into the world. I convinced myself that if I just did everything right, if I kept my house spotless, stayed in shape, and never complained, then I would be worthy of love and respect. I thought that was the secret to a good life, to a life that would be celebrated by others. I thought being perfect meant being free from judgment. But now, looking back at the years I spent chasing this unattainable goal, I can clearly see how much of myself I lost along the way. For decades, I tried to mold myself into an image of perfection. I thought that by meeting everyone's expectations, by being the ideal wife, the perfect mother, the flawless friend, I would somehow earn my place in this world. I focused on being agreeable, on making others comfortable, and on keeping the peace. I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to stand out for the wrong reasons. I thought that if I could be perfect, I would be safe from criticism and rejection. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I was pushing my own needs and desires aside in the process. I was so busy trying to please everyone that I stopped asking myself what I truly wanted out of life. In the early years, it didn't seem to matter. I was busy raising children, running a household, and playing the role of the dutiful wife. I told myself that this was my purpose, that this was what I was meant to do. But over time, I began to realize that in my efforts to be the perfect woman, I was becoming someone I didn't even recognize. I stopped pursuing my own passions because I was too busy caring for everyone else. I neglected my health, my dreams, and even my happiness because I was always putting others first. My identity became wrapped up in what I did for others and how others saw me. I lost sight of who I truly was, and I couldn't remember what it felt like to focus on my own joy and fulfillment. I didn't know how to live for myself anymore. I became so consumed with maintaining the illusion of perfection that I didn't allow myself to rest. I was always striving for an image that I could never fully attain. I thought if I just kept everything in perfect order, if I appeared calm, graceful, and composed, then I could avoid judgment and criticism. But what I didn't realize was that no matter how hard I tried, perfection was an illusion. It was impossible to maintain, and even if I had succeeded in creating the perfect image, it would not have brought me the peace I was desperately seeking. In the pursuit of perfection, I had become exhausted and unfulfilled. I had built a life around expectations that weren't my own, and in doing so, I lost the connection with my true self. It wasn't until much later in life that I had the time and space to truly reflect on my journey. It was only when I looked back at all the years I had spent chasing perfection that I began to understand how much of my energy had been consumed by this unattainable ideal. I wish I could go back and tell my younger self to stop. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop seeking validation from others. Stop sacrificing my own happiness for the sake of others' expectations. Perfection doesn't exist, and the sooner we realize that, the sooner we can start living authentically. For so long, I thought that perfection was the key to happiness. I thought that if I could just get everything right, if I could just meet everyone's needs and avoid making mistakes, then I would be happy. But the truth is, perfection didn't bring me peace or joy. It only left me feeling drained and disconnected. It wasn't until I finally let go of the idea of perfection that I began to experience real freedom. I realized that true happiness doesn't come from being flawless. It comes from embracing who you truly are, imperfections and all. At 78, I've come to understand that life is not about trying to fit into someone else's idea of success. It's about living in a way that feels true to who you are. It's about accepting your flaws, your mistakes, and your struggles without judgment. It's about embracing the messiness of life and learning to find joy in the process, rather than waiting for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy. I spent too many years waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect version of myself before I would allow myself to enjoy life. But now I know that there is no such thing as the perfect moment. There is only the present moment. And if we keep waiting for everything to fall into place before we can be happy, we will waste our lives waiting. I don't want to spend any more time living for anyone else's approval. I want to live for myself. I want to embrace my true self and honor my own needs and desires. I want to stop pretending to be something I'm not. And instead, I want to be unapologetically me. If you're watching this, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be anyone but yourself. Stop striving for an image that will never bring you the fulfillment you're seeking. Stop trying to please everyone around you and start focusing on what truly matters to you. You are not defined by your imperfections. You are defined by your authenticity. And that authenticity is where your true strength lies. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to say no. It's okay to put yourself first. For years, I thought I had to be everything to everyone, but I've learned that it's impossible to be everything to everyone. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to have flaws. In fact, it's the very imperfections that make us human, that make us relatable, and that connect us to one another. Perfection may seem like the ideal, but it is a myth, a goal that will always be just out of reach. What truly matters is living a life that is true to yourself, one where you are honest with yourself and the world around you. As I look ahead, I no longer feel the need to conform or be flawless. I've finally accepted that perfection is a myth, and true happiness lies in embracing who I am, imperfections and all. Life is too short to waste trying to be someone I'm not. I wish I had realized this sooner, but it's never too late to start living for yourself. If you're out there, struggling with the same pressures I once felt, I want you to hear this. It's never too late to let go of the need for perfection. It's never too late to start living a life that is true to who you are. So my message to you is simple. Let go of the idea of perfection. Embrace yourself, flaws and all, because that's where true strength lies. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to meet anyone else's expectations. You are enough, just as you are. Stop pretending. Stop pleasing others at the expense of your own well-being. Live for you. And if you're out there struggling with the same pressures I once faced, I want you to know that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to let go of the need to please everyone around you. Life is too short to live for someone else's expectations. Take the time to rediscover who you are and start living authentically. You are worthy of happiness just as you are, and you deserve to live a life that is true to you.